Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the May 18, 2026 meeting of the Metuchen Borough Council. I'd like to start this meeting with a solemn observance of someone who is very meaningful to many of us up here and to many people in our community. Alan Grossman was a two-term member of the Metuchen Borough Council, a current member of the Planning Board. He was also currently serving as a committee member for the History Advisory Committee. He is someone who is heavily involved in Scouts. He had just gotten an award last week, a national award for his involvement in service in Scouts. He was involved at the Friends of, the Metuchen Education Foundation, and he was just, somebody who, if you needed something, he supported you. I mean, he was the kind of person who had this quiet strength to him. He was just so decent, and we were all shocked to learn of his sudden passing this weekend. It's very, very sad anytime anyone passes, but when you have an icon like this in our community, it hits you differently because there's a space now that needs to be filled. I just want to take this moment before our meeting begins to observe a moment of silence in honor of councilman, planning board member, community activist, and wonderful person he was, Alan Grossman. Thank you. Please join me for the flag salute.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Ms. Zupan?
Councilmember Branch? Councilmember Hyman?
Here.
Councilmember Jethwani?
Here.
Councilmember Kandel?
Here.
Councilmember Sukan?
Here.
Council President Delia?
Here.
Mayor Bush?
Here. Do I have a motion to open the agenda session?
I make a motion to open the agenda session.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, is there a motion, or is there anything I should say before I make a motion to close?
I do not have anything today, Mayor.
Nothing from the council president. Anything from the other council members?
No.
No? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion to close the agenda session?
I make a motion to close the agenda session.
There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Another important recognition before we get into a proclamation of the night, if you will. I want to honor the EMS for its vital public service, and we're going to be talking about the fact that it's EMS week, and there's representatives from both sides here, but I want to talk about yesterday in Metuchen, if I can, for a moment. We had an extraordinary, unforeseen event on 287. Anyone who has been paying attention, reading the news, watching the news, on social media knows that there was a massive fire involving at least one fatality and a very serious number of injuries, but one also very serious injury as well. I can't, emphasize enough in this role that every once in a while you end up getting a real-time sense of the importance of first responders, like the EMS, like our police department, like our fire department. All three of those entities were deeply involved in the rescue, recovery, and infrastructure impact of this tanker fire yesterday on 287. It had significant impacts because in addition to the life that was lost and the injuries that occurred. This was something that changed the day in Metuchen because 287 in both directions, one of the busiest highways in the country, was closed and all the traffic came through our town. Route 27 was closed until the evening because we needed the hose to cross into 287. It was running across the road. And this was something that, wasn't just at our level or the county or the state. It was really, and the state, it was, we were in touch with the governor. I was in touch with the Commissioner of Transportation yesterday. This was a major event right here in our town. And the work that you all, we have members of our EMS here and the JFK team as well, put together was nothing short of extraordinary. The level of injuries that you deal with sometimes are here, and then you have yesterday. And you take care of everything in between for all of us. And we are extraordinarily grateful. The police department, we had 2 members of our police department who ran into the burning vehicle. Suffered, at least one of our officers suffered a pretty significant injury. Thank God he's okay in the process, okay? And they did this while we were all sleeping in an attempt to rescue a human being. And then, if that's not emotional enough to think about what our first responders do, we had our fire department, our volunteer fire department, just like our volunteer EMS, who set up and made a strategic decision to set up at the end of High Street on the other side of the fire as they saw the flames engulfing the trees which were making their way into Metuchen. And they literally defended our town from further damage. And, we could sit here and say, oh, we appreciate our first responders. We really, really appreciate our first responders. And tonight, we happen to have this, we have this scheduled anyway, tonight, to honor our EMS for, again, it's Emergency Medical Services Week. We have representatives here, not just from our EMS, Metuchen EMS, but we have representatives from JFK Hackensack Meridian who are here. And I know that your team helped transport, the victim yesterday to, as I would say, to safety, but to the best safety they possibly could have under the circumstances. And we honor you tonight, but every day. And if we didn't need a moment to help us realize that, yesterday certainly brought that out. So I'd like to ask the council to join me in clapping for our first responders. Thank you for everything you do. I have a proclamation honoring you for both parties, one for JFK and one for our own. If you could join me at the front for a presentation and a picture.
Sunday, the fishing brigade, and the woman who founded it, they brought her by like some garden or something. Well, talking to her there, it was so cool. I was like, I moved to this town because it's such a nice place, and it doesn't like. I was like, you gotta take that off this place, Louise. But it was just true though. The people who like put in this work and energy, but it means a lot. She's a sweet lady.
Okay, at this time, we're going to ask for any members of the public wishing to address the council. Don't all speak at once back there. Anybody looking to address the council for public comment? All right, seeing none, we're going to close public comment. Communications consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve communications consent agenda items A and B.
Thank you. These are block party street closings. Always a fun time of year for that. There's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right, Ms. Supan, would you please read ordinance 2026-09 by title only?
Okay, one sec. Ordinance 2026-09, Ordinance of the Borough of Metuchen authorizing the purchase of real property within the Borough of Metuchen, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey.
Public hearing, Mayor?
We're going to have a public hearing now for, sorry. Thank you very much, Council President. We're going to have a public hearing now for ordinance 2026-09, which is the proposed, this is the second reading for the ordinance that will allow us to purchase the sliver of land between the gas station and the Forum Theater, helping us to unify the properties so we can take some next steps on that, which are extremely important to our community. Seeing nobody here for the public hearing, Council President?
I move that ordinance 2026-09 be passed on second reading and published according to law.
Okay, there's been a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Hyman?
Here.
Councilmember Jethwani?
Yes.
Councilmember Candell?
Yes.
I wasn't expecting to be first.
Councilmember Sukan?
Yes.
Council President Delia?
Yes.
All here and yes, gotcha.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Council President?
Are we on to reports, Mayor?
We're going to do the reports now. Okay, where else will we do them? I'm like getting distracted sitting here talking to our Borough Council attorney here. At this time, we're going to ask our Borough Administrator if she has any reports.
The only report I have is, again, I'm going to make people aware that there will be a full closure on Grove Avenue starting June 25th. It will go for the duration that school is closed, and then it will reopen for one lane once school opens. There'll be more details on the Borough website in probably another week or two regarding all the specifics. It'll be on the homepage with some creative icon that our communications person will create regarding traffic in the community. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Council President Delia?
Thank you, Mayor. From the MDA, we have two upcoming events happening. So the first is going to be Downtown Pride, which is going to be taking place on May 30th from 6 to 8. Join the MDA, Outfront Metuchen Human Relations Commission, and Atlantic Health as we celebrate their 5th annual Downtown Pride with a party featuring Extreme Queen, that's Extreme with an X, Queen, a tribute band honoring the legacy of Freddie Mercury. I'm pretty excited about that. And also, we are, if you haven't noticed, but we have the World Cup coming up very soon, right here in our backyard, and we're going to be kicking off the World Cup festivities by hosting a watch party for USA's opening match against Paraguay. That's on June 12th, 9:00 p.m. on the plaza. Come down, watch the game with me. That's sponsored by Hackensack Meridian Health. And that's my report.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, we had a really successful meeting with Hackensack earlier this week with the MDA, and I'm looking forward to their assistance with that. All right, Councilmember Sukan?
Yes, the Shade Tree Commission has 2 more tree trimming events, June 13th, July 11th. So email the Shade Tree Commission at metuchen.com if you're interested in volunteering for that. The Arts Council is having their meeting as we speak, so I will report back on that later. And then for the Green Team, I wanted to just share, I took off work on Friday and I went to the Bellworks Lab and was able to attend the Sustainable Jersey Summit, which was fabulously interesting, and I learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to working with our community as we step into the application process for the projects that we're going to be working on. And I'm calling to our community, anybody that's looking for a way to get involved, email me at msukan@metuchen.com, and we will find a place for you.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Candell?
Yep, the pool commission met last week with pool management. We reviewed the early registration information, and I'm happy to say that the pool revenue is up significantly over last year's numbers, and that the new membership structures that were implemented this year seem to be a hit. We hit 95 degrees today, so the pool should be on everybody's minds, which is great since the early registration period ends on May 25th, 1 week from today. It Takes a Borough is hosting the annual 5K Family Fun Run Walk, again this year on Father's Day, June 21st at 8:30 a.m. It is one of the best events of the year in Metuchen. with upwards of or more than 1,000 runners or walkers participating every year, and helping to raise money for local families in need. If you're interested in running or walking this year, please visit the ITAB Facebook page or website located at ittakesaborough.com. Mayor, I also have updates for Councilmember Branch, who's not here today. Can I
Okay.
do that now?
Sure.
I was going to try and do an impression of Councilmember Branch, but I'm not going to do that. Big news that the Environmental Commission received a $1,500 ANJEC grant, which the Weed Warriors will be using to install deer-resistant fencing and plant native trees in the Metuchen portion of the Barnes Preserve. That work will likely happen in the fall. And for the Human Relations Commission, the Williams Scholarship Subcommittee selected the award recipient, which will be announced by the high school at a later date. The Subcommittee on Bias and Harm is planning for programming in August/September timeframe, and will be working on collecting voices from the community over the summer. And that's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Councilmember Jethwani?
Thank you, Mayor. A couple notes from the library. I think there were notices sent out via social media and indicating that the library will need to be closed tomorrow due to some, replacement of some HVAC to address the unexpected extreme heat we've just had. So, please make sure you take a look before heading out for the following day. Also on Wednesday, May 20th at 7 o'clock, Edison-based author Kevin Davidoff will be discussing his book, 101 Lessons from the Dugout, during a conversational interview with JP Stevens' athletic director, Dave Marsano, and will be engaging in audience Q&A. No registration is required and refreshments will be served. On Saturday, May 30th at 2 p.m., join Outfront Metuchen for a special all-ages community event to kick off Pride Month. There'll be an opportunity to view the library's newly expanded collection of LGBTQ+ books across cultures, faiths, and identities, and creative activities for younger readers will be available. Registration for that event is encouraged. And just a note, if you don't yet follow the Metuchen Public Library on Facebook or Instagram, I'd encourage you to do so. The library recently hired a comms outreach coordinator, and there are a lot of fun videos and increase in posts and engagement on social media, so it's a great way to keep up with what the library is doing. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Councilmember Hyman?
Yes, here. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, the Parade Commission met on May 12th and voted on the grade winners and grand prize winner of our poster contest for Memorial Day's program. It was not easy. We had many excellent submissions. The grand prize winner, Zhu Yu Wei, will have their art featured on the cover of the program for the day's festivities. We have 32 groups registered for the parade. Really exciting stuff. Make sure that you come down. The parade will be stepping off 10 a.m. from Wernick Place, traveling down Main Street to in front of Kai's, and then down to the plaza, after which we will have a ceremony at Memorial Park. Hopefully you can get there by foot because parking is an issue. So please join us for the parade on Monday. And then our next meeting for the parade committee is on June 16th at 7:15 here at Borough Hall. The CARES Committee met on May 14th. First, I want to say congratulations to David Bransfield for the birth of his baby, their first. We discussed at the CARES meeting all the events that are happening this summer, brought to you by CARES, the community table. We're not sure of the date yet, but there will be a table at the farmer's market this summer. We're also planning for National Night Out. We do plan to supply Italian ices again, and that will be August 4th at Metuchen Pool. So look for our table there and enjoy the Italian ices from De Cosmos on us. And also mark your calendars. I know we have some meetings before then, but OAD, Overdose Awareness Day, we will actually be commemorating that on the National Day of August 31st, Monday, August 31st, hopefully here in front of Borough Hall. It's always a very moving event, so please mark your calendars and make sure you join us that day. The next meeting for the CARES Committee is June 16th at 7:15. The Board of Health met last Wednesday. We're discussing a possible blood drive to be presented at the high school because the senior center is having some issues. So we're going to have our blood drive at the high school. We also created a new logo because we are working on quarterly health campaigns. So we designed a new logo, so look for that too. Our next meeting is September 9th at 7:30 here at Borough Hall. And that is it. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And a couple updates. This weekend on Saturday morning, we honored longtime resident Dorothy Abrupta, who was essential to various community activities here. She was very involved in a number of major activities. She's 92 years old. She came and made it to Tommy's Pond, where the Rec Commission named an award for the best fisher. Was that what it was? The Derby champion, which was won by a very cute boy who I know a little bit from town. And the whole experience was just so special. It was so community oriented, and it's fun to roll up to Tommy's Pond and see, all these people, families fishing, and it shows the importance again of volunteerism. And Dorothy making her way back, and I think was really honored to be able to have this named in her honor, and then to see this 7-year-old boy who won the award with a 92-year-old, legacy volunteer was a really special and heartwarming moment. So that was special. Also, shout out to our council member who's not here, Joel Branch, who knew he had a hidden talent of DJing downtown. And next time you hear he's doing this, I encourage you all to see that your council member has additional talents besides just public service. He was very impressive. And then the last thing I want to mention to you is that early voting begins next week for the primary election. It's always important to know that this exists, because once you do, or you participate in early voting, I think right? It's next week? Yeah, it's next. Okay, I want to make sure. You can't tell when I'm getting a look one way or the other. I want to make sure. Okay, thank you. What you don't realize is if you haven't participated in early voting at Mini Beeville and Edison, you might not realize what you're missing, because once you do it, it's hard not to do it again. It's easy. You do it on at your convenience. It's open from Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So there's a huge wide-ranging period. You can, on a weekend, you can get it over with and then you're done. Some people keep saying, well, I really like to do it in person on election day, but you just don't know what's going to happen on election day. You don't know what your day's going to look like. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. And you sort of get the best of both worlds. You can do it in person. It's right around the corner. The Mini Beeville Community Center, they make it very easy. So I highly encourage you to do it. More and more people are doing it each time, and get on the bandwagon if you can. With that, I'm going to move on to the new business consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the new business consent agenda resolutions 2026-157 to 2026-178.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-179, authorizing the payment of the bill list in the amount of $5,197,002.69.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Been a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, have a nice, safe Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully the weather reports get better.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, don't look at me.
I know, I don't know if you have anything to do with that, Lisa. Thank you. Anyway, enjoy your beginning of your summer, everyone.
Can't do that.
Is it not looking good?